No pouring rain, so that's good for the commute wherever you're headed out right now. And temperature-wise, we're in the upper 60s in Bridgewater, 70 in Mineola, 68 degrees in New Rochelle. Temperatures today staying in the mid-70s. As you mentioned, plenty of cloud cover. We do have some rain and plenty of rain in the forecast. So by Wednesday night, some of us as much as 2 to 3 inches of it. So I'll time it out, break it down, the impacts coming up in the 10-day. Because Florida is definitely going to be under the gun here for tropical weather. Not so much the Space Coast right now. They took off out of the Kennedy Space Center. No watches or warnings here, but you can see almost the entire west coast here. That hurricane watch in orange includes Tampa, not quite to Fort Myers, but Naples now in that tropical storm watch, where we have the Keys also in the tropical storm watch. So it's one of those things that we're definitely watching closely, because as early as tomorrow evening into early on Wednesday, we're talking about a landfall of a hurricane. So right now it is tropical storm Idalia, and right now 65-mile-per-hour maximum winds. So this is the latest advisory. Some strengthening, hasn't moved much, but it'll eventually get picked up. Oh, and this is an updated, this is what we were kind of expecting here, an updated forecast and forecast track. Now forecast to be a major hurricane, Category 3, as it approaches the Florida coast early on Wednesday. So between Tampa and the Big Bend here. This is a new forecast, so I'm looking at this, and it's definitely unsettling. So, and it's quickly going to be, again, in the next 48 hours or so. Beyond that, we see it leave the East Coast here and away from our area, so that part of the forecast hasn't changed. One thing that we'll keep an eye on in regards to the influence of this system is the rough surf that is going to keep in place here, with that also Franklin influence, sending swells to the East Coast and keeping rip current risk and the surf zone really rough here the rest of the week. So keep that in mind if you're going to be at the beaches. We'll be watching that, of course. Otherwise, weather-wise, being on the north side of these systems is a good thing. It's going to be quiet through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of the holiday weekend. As you can see, temperatures into the low 80s. Between now and then, we have our own set of weather situations to watch, including some rainfall. Not right now. It's just a low cloudiness. 71 degrees at Central Park. Mainly gray here today. 76 through noontime. That's just about our high. Southeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then by tonight, we start to see that chance of showers, mainly south and east of the city, and that includes most of the day tomorrow. That changes, though, Tuesday night into early on Wednesday, where a push of some of that heavier, steadier rain comes through early in the day on Wednesday. But it clears out by
people heading out to Flushing Meadows.
I have to say, well, this week it's going to be a little bit of a mix. Right now we definitely have a dry but sort of misty, low cloudy conditions, but the holiday weekend is looking pretty good. And right now, if you're taking your fur baby out, this is Comet out of New Jersey. We have mostly cloudy skies and rain-free, but spotty showers tomorrow will be the thing, and maybe steadier rain as we head into the midweek. So I'll break it all down for you coming up in the 10-day. Avoid situations. All right, Dud, let's get you outside too. I want to share this information for you. We have some really gloomy conditions. It's not going to be quite bright and lovely like we had yesterday, and you could get a sense of that looking over the city now. 71 degrees, the dew point's up, so it feels humid, and it's an southeast flow right now. So that always tends to keep us a little bit more humid, a little cooler, and a little grayer. So it's going to be tough to scour out these clouds. 76 degrees at noontime. Don't anticipate much in the way of sunshine, but also not a ton right now anyway of that shower activity. So drizzle at worst at this point, and then mainly gray skies. Southeast winds at about 5 to 10. See a little bit of a change tonight, down to 67 degrees, so that by tomorrow we're looking at rain chances increasing, especially south and east of the city. So from Merrick and Islip, Belmar, Bridgeport, you have the better chance to see some showers from time to time during the day tomorrow. That's kind of the side of our area that it favors, even through tomorrow evening. But by Wednesday morning, now we're looking at a batch of steadier, heavier rain begin to move in, and that kind of covers most of our area. So again, it may be a slower late commute on into Wednesday before this begins to clear out, and it does mean good things for the holiday weekend. I'll show you that in a second, but not before picking up in some cases maybe as much as 2 to 3 inches of rainfall, especially across Central and South Jersey, maybe as much as an inch across Long Island as we get into Wednesday night. So looking ahead to that holiday weekend, again, it's really tough to get a full holiday weekend where we're not talking about rain or storms, and it looks like this might be it. And pick a spot. That's what we're looking at from here to Boston, Philadelphia, down the shore, and into New England. All right, got to keep an eye on the tropics right now. We have our first major hurricane, Franklin, but also tropical storm Idalia. Right now, there's Franklin. No change to the forecast to keep it away from the coast. But an update here with Idalia approaching Florida as a Category 3 storm as early as Wednesday morning. So this is definitely significant change in that strength forecast. But for us, still expected to be on the north side of it. For us, we've got
expect when you walk out the door this morning.
Yeah, I think weather's going to help as far as the ease of travel, right? We're just looking at mostly cloudy skies, a little muggy. Livingston at 65, Yonkers at 68, Norwalk in the upper 60s. We'll be in the 70s, but still with those clouds through this afternoon. Have a bit of a warm up in the forecast, and it comes right in time for the holiday weekend. But what about the rain chance too? Do we get all of it? I'll show you the details in the 10-day. Down on Wednesday, we're talking about a landfalling major hurricane. That's what's in the forecast currently. So here are the watches and the warnings. You can see we have Fort Myers right there under tropical storm watch. In orange, we have the hurricane watches, including Tampa, all the way to Apalachicola, where we are expecting in the next, say, 24 to 48 hours, some of those conditions starting to deteriorate. Right now, it's a tropical storm as of the 5 a.m. advisory, 65 miles per hour. It's starting to make that move to the north right now. And that's one of, if I had to find a good thing about this current forecast, it's not lingering, it's not approaching slowly. It's going to be moving pretty quickly, but approaching, as I mentioned, the coast as a Category 3 hurricane. Remember, the cone of concern is not where everything is going to be felt. It's the forecast for the center line. So you do still have expected wide-reaching implications, including in Fort Myers, where they could still see some storm surge out of this, a couple of feet of storm surge. But as it continues on its path here near Charleston as a strong tropical storm as we get into late Wednesday, early on Thursday, before making that turn out into the Atlantic, which of course is great news for us. We're on the northern side, but believe it or not, we're still keeping an eye on surf conditions related to these offshore storms. And on top of that, high impact for travel. If we look at Newark Airport, obviously not direct influence on the tropical system, but between Orlando and Newark is a very popular route, and you can absolutely count on from Orlando to Tampa, as well as Tallahassee. Even Charleston and Charlotte will see impacts as far as travel goes over the next few days, so keep that in mind. Newark right now is just gray, 73 degrees and pretty muggy. That east wind is going to keep us a little muggy, keep us gray, and keep us on the cool side. Only about 76 degrees for the high this afternoon. And you see, for the most part, rain-free. You may get some drizzle, but really tomorrow morning and afternoon, it's south and east of the city. Not much of a chance, but a spotty shower possible, and that's where we'll find the cloud cover as well. We're still counting on early Wednesday, mainly late morning commute and into the early afternoon for some of that steadier, heavier rain. But it's out of here Wednesday, and it's setting up for a really nice end to the week. And yes, 3 days in a row for this Labor Day holiday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Looks to see some sunshine and temperatures that give us a nice little last blast